So today I will be sharing with you my Europe trip sketchbook. Me and my husband went to Europe last year and I did some sketching while I was on the trip, and I did more sketching when I got home in this sketchbook that I picked up. And I'll be sharing stories and videos, so it's kind of like sketchbook tour slash vlog. The cities that we visited were Paris, Edinburgh, London, Verona, and Venice. So those 5 cities. With a bonus city at the end. I'll get into that when we get to that video. Let's get into the sketchbook. This is the sketchbook that I got in Paris. I made a video talking about this sketchbook, but I didn't get this actually until like the second day of the trip, so I had to like kind of go back and try to work in drawings from the first day. Here is the title page, which I'm very proud of. Worked really hard on it. I actually did a different drawing initially. I think I did it while I was on the trip, and I was just so rusty that it turned out awful. I'll put in a picture of what it looked like, and I'm sure you will agree that this one is significantly better. So this title here is actually kind of a callback to the itinerary that I printed out before going on the trip. I wanted to grab it so I could show it to you. So I just kind of had a little fun with it. And then at the bottom it said, Great European Adventure. So it was Juan and Allison's Great European Adventure. So that is why I titled my Europe trip sketchbook like this. So then it has the dates here, June 6, 2022 to June 23rd, 2022. So this is kind of going over what we did on that first day and a little bit of second day, because this is actually like I did some of these drawings right after I picked up the sketchbook on the second day. On the first day we arrived and we had such a difficult time trying to find a taxi, because when we got to the train station, there was like a small paper sign that was pointing to the left, and we got off the bus, went left, and there were no taxis over there, and we ended up walking around for a while trying to figure out where these taxis were until we finally went into the train station and we're like, hey, where do we catch taxis? And he was like, right across the street. And I'm like, oh, apparently left means behind you in France. Well, at least it did at that train station. So yeah, it was kind of funny. And then we were having a tough time trying to catch taxis when we actually like found the spot, because we were trying to get taxis to stop for us and none of them were stopping. So I took a little picture of my husband signing the ASL sign for help. So we ended up making it to our hotel, which was actually just like 2 blocks away from the Eiffel Tower. So we got checked in and then we decided to go walk around, stop by the garden where the Eiffel Tower is at. I took a little picture in front of it. Me and my friends were joking afterwards about how people take pictures in front of famous things. And so I was like, hey, look, there's me in front of the Eiffel Tower. So we went across the street and got American hot dogs, which were like the least American hot dogs I've ever had personally. But they were the best hot dogs I've ever had, actually, because they were like these really nice sausages in a baguette. Like the bun was a baguette. It was incredible. I think they put like mustard and mayo or whatever and French fries. They threw French fries on there, which I think was the part that made it American, and ketchup, and I think they put onions. I don't know. We were just kind of hanging out, getting a lay of the land the first day, and then like in the middle of the night, me and my husband wake up because we were jet lagged, and we decided to try to see if we could find a place to eat and hang out while until things started to open up, which, spoiler alert, nothing is open before 8 o'clock. On Google, we found what it said that it was a 24-hour cafe. So we were like, okay, let's go over there. Well, we're walking around trying to find this supposed cafe. It ends up not existing. While we were trying to find this cafe, Juan discovers that the sole of his shoes are coming apart. We were trying to figure out what the heck we were going to do to get shoes, because, it's like we're in Paris, and I'm not sure if they really have like a Walmart that you can go to just buy some cheap shoes. And if they have like some sort of Walmart, I don't know what it would be called. The other problem was that we had tickets for like first thing in the morning for the Louvre. We decided, okay, first we'll go to the Louvre, and after that we'll see if we can find some shoes. We went the route that the concierge suggested, which was to get off one stop early and walk through the garden. We were walking through the garden to the Louvre, and it had been raining, and like the whole garden is just a bunch of puddles and mud. Do you want to talk about your shoe ordeal?
Yeah, my shoe ripped. So what is it called? The bottom of the shoe, and it's coming undone from the rest of the shoe. Mm-hmm. So my foot's wet.
Yeah, because it's raining. In case you can't tell.
Ali gave up on the umbrella. You have to explain that.
I gave up on the umbrella. It's too difficult to get us both on the umbrella. And his socks were getting wet, and so we finally got to the Louvre, and we're both just looking a mess. So yeah, the bottoms are coming off, and the tops are also. So after the Louvre today, we're getting on some new shoes.
We're gonna go shopping in Paris.
We're going through the Louvre, and we see the Mona Lisa, we see some other famous paintings by like Titian and Raphael and like those guys. This right here is like some tile work that I saw on the floor of the Louvre, which I just thought was really pretty. So I put that in here, and then we got to see the Venus de Milo. And so this is like the little sketch that I made of Venus de Milo, and then this is the lower entrance to the Louvre. So those are all my little Louvre sketches. He was just like suffering through it, and his poor feet, they were just like getting more and more irritated and raw as we went through the Louvre. So after a little while, we were like, okay, we just got to go. We found some thrift shops, actually, just a little bit to the east of the Louvre is a bunch of thrift shops. So once we left the Louvre, we went to go to a thrift store, and we bought, we ended up going to this thrift store that also had like some new stuff. So like they had like new stock of shoes, and Juan ended up buying these like black knockoff Converse for, I don't know, probably like $20. And the funny thing is, like, he ended up just hating them. Can we get a little, there we go. Yeah. Nice.
That's pretty much it. I'm tired.
We went to a thrift shop.
That's Allison's jacket.
Got a new windbreaker,
Got to do a spin.
and it was actually free.
Oh yeah, the lady.
I asked the lady several times, like, did you get this on the, like this too? And she was like, yeah, just put the card in. And she only charged me for the one sweater. I found a sweater, but she only charged me for that. She didn't charge me for this. And she was like, all right, thanks, bye. I was like, okay, I guess I'll take this.
Yep.
So we're on our way to Notre Dame. And it was
No,
funny.
her dame.
We shipped Juan's shoes back home. so we wouldn't have to worry about
They
putting
were
them in the
my
suitcase and all that.
limited edition Converse.
So Juan didn't want to throw them away, so we shipped them back home. So then we're sitting there, and I'm like, all right, so let's go check out Notre Dame and whatnot. I think it's that way. It looks like from the map, it's just, you know, you go across the bridge straight, and there it is. And I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a second, I think that's Notre Dame. Yeah, it totally was. Like you could see it. It wasn't that far, probably like less than a quarter mile. So yeah.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah, we went to the Notre Dame, and then we had coffee and dessert at a cafe next to the Shakespeare and Company's bookstore. Then we went to the Marché de Enfant Rouge, which is like a really cool little market that I guess is like kind of up and coming. It's like really popular with the young people. We stopped by there, got some beers, and we got the butcher's special, which is really, really good. Then we went back to the hotel, and that was pretty much our day. The next day, we ended up deciding to go back to the Notre Dame. We wanted to listen to the Rick Steves walking tour, wanted to just be able to spend a little more time and learn a little bit more about it while we were there. Then we went to Sainte Chapelle, which is this really cool like church that like the walls are pretty much all stained glass, and like it's got these vaulted ceilings, vaulted arches, and like I don't know, it's just really pretty. If you have the opportunity to visit, I definitely would. It's like, I mean, you're in this place and it's just immaculate. Like no picture will ever do it justice. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, like, how in the world does this building, like, can all these walls support themselves? Because like 90% of these walls is glass, and it's holding up stonework, which is crazy. Sainte Chapelle was actually built, I think, in only 5 years, which to me is just crazy because I think it was built in like the, I don't know, early 1800s. You'd have to Google it. I probably am most definitely wrong on that, but it still was like really, really fast for the time period in which it was built. After that, we went to La Palette. That's actually a cafe that was frequented by artists like Picasso and Degas and like all those impressionist artists that were in the Academy of Fine Arts. They frequented this cafe, and it's actually still in business today, and you can go eat there. So I decided to go there. I had steak tartare, which I did not know. Tartare basically means raw. I ordered it not really knowing what it was, but I was like, you know what? I've heard of this, so I'm gonna try it. And it came out, and it was basically like some ground beef. And I'm like, you know what? When in Paris. So, yep, I ate it. I don't think it was bad. I wouldn't make it myself and eat it voluntarily on a Tuesday night. But if I'm in Paris and it's served to me, then yes, I'd eat it. After La Palette, that was when I picked up my sketchbook. So finally, by that point, I had picked this up in this little store called Chauvin. So that was when I finally picked this up, and then we went to the Musée d'Orsay. Once we finally went through most of the museum, you go through most of it, and then right before you get to the Impressionism Van Gogh area, then there's a big cafe that you can get some drinks and food at. So we ended up going over there and getting some coffee, and I think we got a pastry. And while we were there, I took the opportunity to do my first sketch in this sketchbook. So this is actually my first sketch of Juan. I used one of the brush pens that I had. It's not my best, just gotta say. It's not my best. I was very, very rusty. I had not drawn in a long time when I did this. And the waiter at first was very interested, and then he saw it and he was like, He was polite about it, but he was like, you looked very impressive until I saw your drawing. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. So then after that, we went into the impressionism area. Got to see Van Gogh's self-portrait, so this is something I actually drew in the museum while I was drawing his self-portrait, and I used these Posca marker pens to do kind of the swirly effect that he had. We went to go, we were running late. We had actually had a pretty packed day. We were running late for some dinner reservations, so we ran back to the hotel and got dressed for dinner, and then we went to this restaurant. We started to get some food, but then we ended up having to cut it short because we wanted to take the river cruise of the Seine, and so this was like kind of from that river cruise. We had like some champagne and drinks, and then afterwards we went to a cafe and hung out, and we actually had a really great time with the staff there. We got along pretty well with them. So that is pretty much everything for what we did in Paris. I hope that you will join me for the next video, because in the next video we are going to be going to Scotland. So if you want to see what we did in Scotland, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next video. In the meantime, don't forget your daydream, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.